I'll just come out and say, I always say to beat the champ, you have to beat the champ. I say that to put pressure on the opponent. That's why I say it. I always say it because if you leave it to the judges and the judges don't select you, you have no one to blame but yourself.
I feel that Moreno got exposed a little bit, though. I will say that. I will say that. I think.
Please expound.
His I've mentioned this before in regards to Moreno. His greatest attribute is also his greatest flaw. And Moreno, in order to be a great champion, you can't be one way all the time. He's in there with a dude. This is the third time they fighting. He's in there with a dude where he can't match his intensity. He can't. So you have to do something. You have to make an adjustment. You have to, whether that's box, whether that's stay on the outside, whether it's to go for more takedown, whatever it is, you have to make an adjustment. And to me, Moreno wasn't able to do that successfully.
I did not see him getting knocked out.
Dominated like that.
Yeah, I didn't. I mean, dominating. I mean, I think it was a good back and forth, but I just think that Du Plessis just had more. What I saw was kind of when I was talking about Volkanovski taking his time and waiting for his moment against Rodriguez. I kind of saw that in Du Plessis against Whitaker, bro. Like it was a back and forth, but I saw to me it was more patient than that. Was surprised me more. His patience in taking apart Whitaker.
Whitaker looked like, I don't want to say old, but predictable. It was kind of like that's what I read from it. Like he looked predictable, and then next thing you know, he was hittable. It went from predictable to hittable. Bro, it was a 3-round fight. At the end of the first round, he was on the floor.
How do you feel about it? How do you feel about what and to the people out there who don't know what the issue is? Basically, the beef started when Du Plessis basically said that he plans to be the first true African champ, meaning he was born in Africa.
Right.
He's still in Africa. He's training in Africa.
Right.
Here's my question to that. It's a two-parter. Okay. How do you feel about Du Plessis' comments? And do you think Izzy's response to it was genuine, or just attack to promote what he saw was his next fight?
This South African is basically saying, no, you got to think of it this way. If he stayed there, it would validate it. Not validate that Izzy isn't African at all, but it would validate, yo, I'm Africa. I trained here. I lived here. I grew here. I breed here. And I won here, coming from here. There's great things that come from here. So I mean, it sticks because some of it is true. That's why it sticks.
Which part of it isn't true?
The fact that the stigma, because by saying that there's a back part, there's a stigma to it that would imply, that's not being said, that would imply that they're any less African. That's not true. I don't agree with that. But I do agree with the notion that, yo, he's just as African because he's from there.
You think that implication is there? So by him saying that he would be the first true African champ, he's implying that he is more, because it seems to me, because I'm putting out what I think, what I think. I see these UFC guys interact with one another. The UFC to me is the real version of the WWE, meaning that the fights are real, nothing is scripted.
The promotion ain't though.
But the greats who know how to promote the fights, they understand that this is, like you said, the fight business. So I do believe Du Plessis was genius in his tactic of saying that he'll be the first true. He did what I say what people do with the truth. Like, the truth to me is not good or bad. The truth is like a brick. You know what I mean? It's just it's an objective object. Mm-hmm. And you could use that brick to build a house, or you could use that same brick to break a window. You know what I mean? You could either build or destroy with that brick. So you could weaponize the truth against someone. So he weaponized the truth of him being in Africa and training in Africa to, like you said, offend who he knew would be the next guy that he's aiming for. I totally believe that.